This visualization is about shopping at a grocery store. I step near the entrance of the grocery store, and the automatic doors swish open for me, and I step inside. The bright artificial lights above make everything appear a little too sharp, a little too clear. The low murmur of voices coming from the aisles mix with the clinking of shopping carts and the occasional beep of a register scanning items. And I inhale the clean air, the scent of freshly baked bread and ripe fruit fills my nostrils, and it's a comforting and familiar smell. I grab a cart from the rows near the entrance, and the wheels squeak as I push it forward. The handle feels cool under my palm as I adjust my grip and I maneuver the cart toward the produce section. The green and red apples, the glossy skins of tomatoes, and the leafy curl of lettuce meet me like a parade of colors. The smooth and gleaming linoleum floor feels hard and cool beneath my shoes. It shines as it reflects the fluorescent bulbs that hum faintly overhead. I swerve past a slow-moving elderly woman, and we exchange a polite nod and smile. Her frail hands grasp the sides of the cart, and her worn shoes shuffle along the floor. I reach for a cantaloupe. Its rough skin is cool to the touch, and its orange flesh is just waiting to be revealed. And I gently knock on the side of the melon, feeling the satisfying thud of ripeness beneath my fingers. It's the perfect sound. It's deep and it's resonant, and it has a faint, sweet, and musky aroma that reminds me of honey and flowers. It's perfect. I add it to my cart as I pass the gentleman who is carefully selecting avocados. His fingers probe each one, testing for just the right softness. And I make my way to the long row of water-thirsty vegetables against the wall that are getting a sprinkling from the overhead system. And I reach for a bunch of wet cilantro. The crisp leaves are fragrant with a burst of earth and citrus, and my fingers are cooled as I shake the bunch gently to remove the excess water before I place it in my cart. And as I make my way toward the cold zone of the dairy freezers at the back of the store, the beeping sound of the cash register grows more distant. I pass through the big glass doors, and this rush of icy air, laced with the scent of fresh milk and cream, sweeps over me and makes goosebumps rise up on my arms. It's darker in here, and the constant hum of the coolers could lull me into a light and pleasant sort of trance if I let them. I pass by the rows of almond milk cartons, scanning for the yogurt that I always buy, and I run my hand along the cold, smooth metal shelves as I grab a few of my favorites and I throw them in my cart. And next, I look for the sour cream that I need for my dinner. The edges of the container are slick with condensation, and I slide one out of the row, and its cold surface sends tiny jolts of sharpness up my fingers, and the plastic crinkles slightly as I grip it, and I can feel the slight squish of the soft white cream inside. And I toss it in my cart with a soft thud. There's something so comforting about the act and the routine of all of this. I move out of the cold section and through the center aisles, and the change in temperature is inviting. And I find myself in the cereal aisle, and I feel the familiar tug of nostalgia. The boxes line the shelves in bright, cheery colors, reds and yellows and greens. Some boxes shout with promises of sugar and adventure and fun, while others stand quiet and serious in these shades of beige, offering whole grains and healthy starts to the day. The aisle smells faintly of cardboard and sugar. It's a combination that always makes me think of childhood mornings. And I pick up a box of oatmeal, feeling the rough surface of the packaging beneath my fingers, and I turn it over and I check the ingredients. I need something warm and grounding to start my mornings. And next, I pause at the frozen foods section. I'm here to grab a bag of frozen vegetables. The smell of cold, sharp air mixed with the faint metallic scent of the freezers greets my nose as I open the glass door and I reach for the neatly stacked bags of bright green peas with frost-covered edges that promise to brighten any meal. And as I do, a child's laughter echoes from the other side of the aisle, followed by the soft patter of small feet running. I smile softly to myself. The innocence of her lingering giggle among the low hum of the freezers momentarily pulls me away from my next item on my list. And I take my time as I walk through more aisles, marking items off my list one at a time, like a treasure hunt. The groceries are important, of course, but I am enjoying just being surrounded by the soft clamor of other humans that blur through the aisles. And the squeak of the cart wheels becomes more pronounced with every turn as my cart grows heavier with more and more items. My cart is now nearly full and everything is marked off of my list, so I begin to make my way back to the front of the store. But the warm and savory fragrance of freshly baked bread and sizzling cheese and seasoned meats from the sample stand that I'm passing distracts me from my goal. The smell from the open trays makes my stomach rumble, and I draw closer with curiosity. The gentle sizzle from the small skillet on top of the counter that displays little bite-sized pieces of pizza makes my mouth water. I instinctively say yes to the friendly smile and gloved hands that place a warm and greasy paper in my hand. I pop the bite into my mouth, and as my teeth sink into the tender, golden brown crust, my taste buds are flooded with a burst of salty cheese that provides a momentary rush of satisfaction that fills my body and all of my senses. I take a moment to savor the little pizza sample before I remember where I was going. The sound of scanning beeps and clicks grow louder as I step into the checkout lane filled with both order and chaos. The impulse buy shelves are loaded with candy and gum and batteries and magazines, and they tempt me as I wait there. And after a minute, I impulsively add a candy bar to the conveyor belt that begins to rattle under the weight of my groceries as I start to stack them on top of it. And finally, I come face to face with the cashier, and she gives me a pleasant smile. And I return the smile as I answer her question regarding how my day is going. The warmth of the interaction spreads through my chest as the items pass by in an organized frenzy. The yogurt, the cilantro, the cantaloupe, the cereal. And the rhythm of it feels almost meditative. The bags rustle with every new item that's added in this symphony of movement. And after I pay, I make my way toward the automatic doors once again, and I feel a sense of peace. The simplicity of shopping, the picking, the choosing, it feels like a small act of self-care. And the grocery store, with all its mundane details, has provided me with more than just sustenance. It has offered a small and fleeting sense of belonging in the hum of daily life and a sense of accomplishment. And for that, I am grateful.